On a cold winter day, February 12, 1809, a boy was born in a simple, one-room log cabin in Kentucky. His name was Abraham Lincoln. The cabin had a dirt floor, a single window to let in the pale light. Thomas, Nancy, hard-working frontier parents who knew the struggles of frontier life. Towering trees, the quiet sounds of the wilderness, the hard work of farming. He learned early on the value of a day's labor, helping his father clear land, plant crops. His hands, even as a small boy, became calloused and strong from swinging an axe. This humble beginning, surrounded by the raw, untamed American landscape, would shape the man he was to become. Life on the frontier was a constant challenge, a daily battle against the elements. The Lincolns had little in the way of possessions. Their wealth was their resilience and their love. When Abraham was 7, the family moved to Indiana. In the backwoods of Indiana, schooling was scarce. Lincoln's formal education totaled less than a single year. Schools were miles away, in crude buildings, run by teachers who knew little more than the students. Yet the fire of curiosity within him only burned brighter. He taught himself relentlessly, reading voraciously. Books opened a world beyond the farm. The Bible, the classics, and any moment he could steal to learn. After splitting rails, plowing fields, and helping at the mill, he read by the dim light of the fireplace. He borrowed books from neighbors, walking miles for a new one. He reread until the words were worn. He practiced writing on any surface, even a board. He studied people, stories, humor, argument. He learned persuasion and perspective. True education, he proved, is the passion to learn. One word, one sentence, one book at a time. As he came of age, the law called to him. It suited his logic, language, and sense of justice. With no money for school, he read law on his own. People saw him reading as he walked, absorbing the law into his very being. In 1836, he passed the bar. In court, he earned the name Honest Abe. Riding the Eighth Circuit, he met everyday people, their hopes and fears. 4 terms in the legislature taught debate, compromise, and strategy. He opposed slavery's expansion. A term in Congress proved frustrating. He felt small in a vast pond. He stepped back to law until the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854. It reawakened him to fight for the nation's ideals. The 1850s tore America over slavery. He warned, "A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure, permanently half slave and half free." 7 debates made him a national figure. Douglas pressed popular sovereignty. Lincoln called slavery a moral wrong. By 1860, Democrats split, Republicans united, and nominated Lincoln. The Union's future hung in the balance. Elected in November 1860, Lincoln faced a nation holding its breath. Southern states seceded, forming the Confederacy. He pleaded for union and promised not to interfere where slavery existed. Shots at Fort Sumter ignited the Civil War. He called for volunteers to suppress the rebellion. He bore the war's weight through long, lonely nights. As losses mounted, he saw the war must also be about freedom. On January 1, 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring enslaved people in rebelling states, then, thenceforward, and forever free. It transformed the war's purpose and opened the ranks to African American soldiers. In 1863, Gettysburg halted a Confederate invasion. In 2 minutes, the Gettysburg Address promised a new birth of freedom. Vicksburg split the Confederacy along the Mississippi. In Grant, Lincoln found the relentless general he needed. Grant wore down Lee in brutal, unending pursuit. With Atlanta's fall, Lincoln won re-election. He called for healing, with malice toward none, with charity for all. Lee surrendered. The Union was saved. With the war over, Lincoln turned to reuniting the country. His plan for reconstruction was guided by forgiveness. 5 days after Appomattox, he was assassinated. The nation plunged into shock and grief, a devastating loss at the dawn of peace. In death, his influence only grew. From log cabin to White House, an American story. He preserved the Union and ended slavery's institution. His words still define our ideals and inspire the world. They remind us of democracy, empathy, and integrity. His image is everywhere, on our currency, in our history books, and in marble in our Capitol. But his true legacy lives in the principles he fought for and the nation he saved. A symbol of strength, wisdom, and humanity. He shows that even in darkness, there is hope. His story is, in the end, the American story.